Good morning, dear students. In today's lecture, we will talk about an entirely different topic, that is covalent bond and their types. Because the very important topics of this chapter, like resonance, inductive effect, electromagnetic effect, are lined up. So if we don't have any idea about the covalent bond and their types, then it becomes very difficult to understand the concept of resonance, inductive effect and electromagnetic effect. So let us start with the covalent bond and their types. In class 10th, I have explained you about the covalent bond and ionic bond. We have talked about ionic bond in chapter metals and non-metals, and we have talked about covalent bond in chapter carbon and its compound. I told you about ionic bond. When there is a complete transfer of electron from the valence shell of a metal to the valence shell of a non-metal, then the bond formed between metal and non-metal are ionic bonds. Metal by losing electron forms cation, and non-metal by gaining electron forms anion. Opposite ions are there. So there exists a force of attraction between a cation and between an anion. And this force of attraction is called ionic bond. Now, if two non-metals are there, then in that case, losing and gaining of electron is not possible. So what will happen? What will be the nature of bond between the two non-metals, or how there will be formation of bond between the two non-metals? In that case, sharing of electrons will be there. So if a bond is formed by sharing of one or more than one electrons, then the bond formed between the two atoms is called covalent bond. Now remember, each atoms which are taking part in covalent bond formation contributes equal number of electrons. If atom A is contributing 1 electron, then atom B will also contribute 1 electron for sharing, or you can say for covalent bond formation. If atom A is contributing 2 electrons, then atom B will also contribute 2 electrons. And if atom A is contributing 3 electrons, then atom B will also contribute 3 electrons. So whenever contribution of 1 electron is made by each atom, then there is a formation of single bond, or we can say single covalent bond. If there is contribution of 2 electrons by each atom for sharing, then there is a formation of double bond, or we can say double covalent bond between the two atoms. And if there is sharing of 3 electrons by each atom for sharing, then there will be formation of triple bond, or we can say triple covalent bond. Sharing of electron is done simply to complete the duplet or to complete the octet in the outermost shell. Because octet or having 8 electrons in the valence shell, is the stable electronic configuration, and each atom tries to gain stability. So if 8 atoms are there, if an atom can acquire 8 electrons in the valence shell, then its electronic configuration will be stable. That's why atoms are going for sharing of electrons. So here, let us have H2 molecule. Hydrogen is having only one valence electron, so it can contribute only one. Other H is also having one electron in the valence shell, so it will also contribute one electron. Clear? By sharing, both the hydrogen will complete their duplet. You know it very well by Bohr-Gurey scheme. The first energy level can accommodate maximum of 2 electrons. And if 2 electrons are there in first energy level, or we can say if the valence shell is first, then it can accommodate maximum 2 electrons. And after acquiring 2 electrons in the first valence shell, the electronic configuration will be stable. So both the H atoms are completing their duplet, so they will gain stability. Since each is contributing 1 electron, so there will be formation of a single bond. Now about the O2 molecule formation. Oxygen, it contains 6 electrons in the valence shell, and second shell forms the valence shell. For completion of the octet, each oxygen atom requires 2 electrons, and it will gain 2 electrons by sharing. So each oxygen atom is contributing 2 electrons for the sharing, and after sharing 2 electrons, both the O will complete their octet. Just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 for this oxygen, 8 for this oxygen also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Since each atom is contributing 2 electrons for the sharing, so there will be formation of double bond between the 2 atoms. Similarly, there is formation of triple bond between the nitrogen atom, or you can say between in N2 molecule there is triple bond present between the nitrogen atom. Nitrogen, it is having 5 electrons in the valence shell. It requires 3 electrons for the completion of the octet. So both the N will share 3 electrons, and by sharing 3 electrons, both N atoms will complete their octet. Just count for this N. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For this N. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For both N atoms, octet is complete. So there is a formation of triple bond. There is a formation of triple bond between nitrogen atom. Remember, the maximum number of bonds that can be present between the 2 atoms are always 3. 4 bonds between the 2 atoms are not possible. That you will understand in chapter chemical bonding. Clear? Now, about the types of the covalent bonds. So before we start the types of covalent bond, let me first explain you the meaning of electronegativity. So its definition: the tendency of an atom to attract the shared pair of electron towards itself in a molecule is called electronegativity. Listen again. The tendency of an atom to attract the shared pair of electrons towards itself in a molecule is called electronegativity. Electronegativity of an atom depends on the atomic size. If atomic size is less, the electronegativity of that atom will be more. Or we can say if the valence shell is close to nucleus, you know it very well that inside the nucleus we are having protons, and protons are positively charged particles. So over the nucleus we are having positive charge. So force of attraction on the electrons is exerted due to nucleus. So if the nucleus is very close to the valence shell, then it can attract the shared pair of electrons, or the electrons which are involved in bond formation. So tendency of an atom to attract the shared pair of electron towards itself in a molecule is called electronegativity. In a molecule is called electronegativity. So the three most electronegative elements of the periodic table: fluorine followed by oxygen followed by nitrogen form. Fluorine is the element or is the atom with the highest electronegativity. The electronegativity of fluorine and nitrogen is equivalent, or you can say the similar. So fluorine followed by oxygen followed by nitrogen, these are the three most electronegative elements of the periodic table. Now, if a molecule involves the same type of atoms, if same type of atoms are there, then their electronegativity will be similar. Or two different atoms with same electronegativity, then there will be equal sharing of the electrons between the two atoms, or you can say the shared pair of electron will remain in between the two atoms, exactly at the middle. When electronegativity of A is equals to electronegativity of B. Examples: here we can have H2, we can have Cl2, we can have F2, we can have O2, etc. So when sharing of electron is there between the atoms having same electronegativity, then the bonds formed are called non-polar bond, or these are called non-polar covalent bonds. Equal sharing of electrons will be there between the two atoms. Now, let us have electronegativity difference. Let us change the atoms. If the atoms involved in the bond formation or in the molecule formation are different, then definitely their electronegativity will be different. So if there is sharing of electron between the two atoms and electronegativity of B is more than A, then what B will do? B will attract the shared pair of electron towards itself. As a result, slight displacement of shared pair of electron will be there towards B atom. Due to this slight displacement of the shared pair of electron, this B will acquire partial negative charge, which can be represented by delta minus. Now, electron is moving away from the A. So A will acquire partial positive charge, which is represented as delta plus. It's not complete plus, complete minus, because it is not ionic compound or ionic bond. When complete transfer of electron is there from valence shell of one atom to the valence shell of other atom, in that case we get complete plus and complete minus, like NaCl. Na plus and NaCl is minus. But here sharing is there. But what happens in sharing? The shared pair is slightly displaced towards B atom, because electronegativity of B is more than A. So if delta plus and delta minus is there on atoms present in a molecule, then the bond formed is called polar bond, or it is called polar covalent bond. Like we can have HCl molecule, HF molecule, H2 molecule, NH3 molecule. In all the four cases, electronegativity difference is there between the atoms. So HCl, Cl will be having delta minus charge and H will be having delta plus charge, because electronegativity of Cl is more than hydrogen. So Cl will attract the shared pair of electron towards itself. As a result, Cl will develop delta minus charge and H will develop delta plus charge. So HCl is the bond between H and Cl is polar covalent bond. So the compounds which are having non-polar bonds, are called non-polar covalent compounds, and the compounds having polar bonds or polar covalent bonds are called polar covalent compounds. Remember one thing, development of polarity changes the physical properties and chemical properties, changes the boiling point, changes the melting point, changes the solubility, and changes the types of chemical reaction also. So polarity affects on physical properties as well as chemical properties of the compound. In next lecture, we will talk about resonance, one of the most important topic of this chapter. Thank you and have a nice day.